I was very hesitant to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyways. What's going on, guys? My name is Elijah Fitz, also known as Ezra Wolves, um, and welcome back to another episode of My Story Unsolved. So, I'm doing this more to keep a record of it, but also to share my experience. Earlier tonight, it's like 1 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning. Wow. Um, I had a nightmare. And yes, I'm 21 and I still have nightmares. It's an unfortunate side effect of my anxiety and depression. I'm plagued by it. Uh, what's annoying is tonight's nightmare, it felt real. And it continued after I had woken up. It was a cold night. And I remember because it felt like I was actually there. It felt like I was outside. This felt real. I was walking home. It was night. I had gone to the store to get something, um, and I was walking home. And I got home, and a few hours passed, and I was working on some assignments for school when I was sitting with my mom at her computer, and there was this like loud blast. It sounded like a explosion. So the sound, it was loud and it sounded like a shotgun blast. If someone came up to you and just shot you with a shotgun, that's what it would sound like. It sounded like that. Um, Big giant shotgun like explosion. Or it sounded like a shotgun. Um, and the house on the corner of the street. We could see it from the position of the window where my mom's office is. The interior of it engulfed with flames. The entire house was in flames. And I remember running outside and being told by a fireman to stay back. They told me what was going on. And I thought they had it under control. And it seemed like they had it under control. But in the nightmare, every hour that passed, the fire would get bigger and it would spread to a new house. And it was like the ground was exploding and cracking. I live in Toronto. There's not much in the way of earthquakes, at least not that I've experienced. But it was like if the Earth's core decided that it was just going to erupt, um, and it was coming through like the streets, and it would go from one house to another, and I knew that at any moment I would it would be my house. And I remember in this nightmare I was horrified. So in the nightmare, I remember gathering every like a bag and just throwing stuff in. My plan was to take my dog and take some stuff, and make a run for it, and just leave and try to survive. Um, but overall, that nightmare would end um, with it fading to a screen with. This is where it gets really bizarre, really uh, weird. It fades to a computer screen with the YouTuber Mr. Ball and John doing like one of his top 3 videos, um, and it was him basically saying how he was like talking about fires in my neighborhood and how it like killed a bunch of people and a lot of people were displaced from their homes. Um, and he said the firefighters would go on to find a tag that would ultimately belonged to Ellie. He did not survive, and he died on that day. It was by far one of the weirdest things. Um, I'm used to having weird nightmares that make no sense, but when I woke up from this, it felt a bit real to me. Like I could feel the heat from the fire on my skin in the nightmare. I could feel the cold, and I could hear the wind blowing, like the garbage cans moving on the street, and it just wasn't fun. And then when I woke up, I remember not even I wanted to yell and scream out, but I couldn't. Um, I couldn't scream out at all. It was just horrifying and loud and not loud. It was horrifying. Like I couldn't move when I woke up, and I couldn't speak. It felt like I couldn't breathe. Um, and I noticed the fire alarm, the smoke detector in my room, was blinking as if there was a fire, but there was no fire. And shortly after I woke up, that stopped, and I was able to speak and move again. And I think this is something that I will never ever forget. I hope you guys enjoyed. I want to tell more of these stories going forward on the podcast. But I will see you guys in the next episode. Talk to you later.